Hello, welcome back to Jonathan's channel. It's me again, Sophie, aka Miss Composition Consultant. I just realised that when I did my video last week of my 1 year carnivore, completely forgot to kind of mention what I ate and macros and anything like that. I think I was so nervous and rambling that I forgot to. So I thought, I know, I'll do another video, as some people have been, asking for me to do another video. God knows why. And I was going to do like a what I eat in a day, but I kept forgetting to film the first meal of the day. And it wasn't until like lunchtime that I realised, I should have filmed it. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do a rambling one where I kind of just talk through what I eat, because let's be honest, you all know what food looks like. You all know what an egg is and what meat is. So I thought I'd do that. I thought I'd kind of run through macros, kind of food, day-to-day stuff. Don't get excited. It really isn't that interesting. But hey ho, here we go. So macros, what am I on now? I'm about 140 protein, 140 fat. And that is up from when I started. So I was about 100 to 120 protein, and then I was about 80 to 100 fat. I just kept playing with it until I figured out what works for me. And I found that being higher fat and higher protein works for me. I feel a lot better on it. I feel a lot fuller. I may give it a few weeks and kind of tweak it again, up the fat or lower the fat or something. Just see how I feel. So that's my macros at the minute, 140 each. And then I do less than 20 grams of carbs, which is from like eggs, mainly eggs, sometimes Greek yogurt, protein powder, bit of cheese, that kind of thing. So when I started carnivore, and I'm very surprised I lasted 6 months doing this, I had the same breakfast for 6 months, which was melted butter, so about 30 grams of melted butter, 175 to 200 grams of Greek yogurt, and then about 40 to 50 grams of protein powder. Mixed it all up, and that was fantastic. It kept me full. Because of the kids, I have to eat breakfast between like 6:30 and 7 o'clock. So it would keep me full from about that time all the way to like lunchtime, like a good like 12 o'clock. So it was a good chunk of time, do you know what I mean? Easy as pie to make, quick and easy to digest. And I found that I could have that and then train an hour later if I needed to, or if I was training 2 hours later, obviously just depending. I recommend waiting at least like 90 minutes. But it was fantastic. So I did that for 6 months straight, and then I just got bored. That's my problem, is I like variation, which is why I can't do the same meal all the time. Like I know Jonathan does that. He'll do he used to do like mince and eggs all the time, or mackerel and eggs all the time or something. But I like variation. So my breakfast was always the same, and then lunch and dinner would be where I vary it. So it would be some form of egg, whether that's scrambled, fried. I'd attempt to poach, but I'm crap. Or hard-boiled. And then a little bit of cheese. Again, it would depend on the cheese, depending what I had in the fridge, depending what was on sale. And then any kind of meat, whether that was like a sausage from the butcher, so we know it's not full of crap. It's literally the meat. It has got a tiny bit of wheat flour in, obviously, to bind it, and then any seasonings if it's like a flavoured one. Or just like chicken or steak, anything. And I would have that as my lunch or my dinner. But because I would mix it up, so I'd mix up the meat, I would mix up how I cooked the egg, like I'd do it as wraps, which Jonathan has a video on. Well, it's actually the pasta, but you can just not cut it and leave it as a wrap. And I would put stuff in it, like roll it up like a burrito type thing. I mean, it was very messy. I'd do that. Or I'd make like a shuffle, which is just egg and cheese, and then have like a burger in between. So my lunch or my dinner were the same concept of like the same ingredients, but I would mix it up because I would cook them all in different ways. So I wouldn't always just have mince. Like sometimes we'd make a bolognese, it's basically just mince, a bit of like butter melted into it. Sometimes we do a bit of like yogurt to make like a sauce out of it. We have sugar-free sauce, so I'd put that in it. I'd make the carnivore pasta and then sprinkle some cheese on top, and hey presto, it's a bolognese. And then the same again at dinner time. Lunchtime was normally just like it was a lot quicker because I didn't have the time. sometimes to faff making, you know, like the pasta and stuff like that. That would be like a dinner thing, because then we could all have it together. So that was basically it. And now, I think after like the 6 months, I wouldn't eat as many eggs as I probably should have. But now, after like the 6 months with the yogurt, and I was just sick and tired of it, I started to have like scrambled egg for breakfast, and then like sometimes with a tin of tuna or some salmon or some chicken. Sometimes a bit of cheese, just depend, like a dairy triangle, like a soft cheese kind of spread mixed in. And I'd have that. I now have a lot more shakes, where again, I think he's got a video on it, like an anabolic protein shake where we'd stick an egg in it. I do have coffee, or have a bit of coffee. So I have like a coffee shake where I'll do like a chocolate protein powder, some black coffee, stick an egg in it. I stick cream in it, sometimes clotted cream, sometimes like double cream, thick double cream, whatever we've got. Obviously a bit of ice, but I prefer it a bit thinner than what Jonathan does, so I don't put as much ice in. Blitz it up, and hey presto, I'll have that at lunchtime. When I'm working, I will have that for dinner, because by the time I get back from dinner, I have like an hour to be able to get the kids in bed, have my dinner, sometimes feed the kids if they've not eaten enough, and then get on to the live. So I'll have a shake because it's quick and easy to make, fills me up. It's just a lot of liquid in one go. But when I have that at lunchtime, I can kind of like sip that in like a 20-minute period, so it's not as bad. So now I'm kind of mixing it up a bit. I'll have a shake a day. Normally around lunchtime I have the shake, and that is it. That's filling enough. I don't do anything else with it. I went through phases of having like the pork scratchings. Sometimes I'd fancy that like crisp kind of crunch, so I'd have that. And then again, tea is just the same of a variation of meat, cheese and eggs. Sometimes not eggs, it depends. If I have eggs for breakfast, I don't tend to have it for dinner as well, just because I can't do that many eggs. So there, I mean, that's basically it. I'm thinking of kind of mixing up my macros again. So again, I might mix up my food. I might start having my shake at breakfast because it's an easier. And then again, doing the whole variation of meat, cheese, egg in different forms for lunch and dinner kind of thing. I might introduce some more cottage cheese, make that into like a dip, and like, you know, dip the chicken or pour it over the chicken, or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that's kind of like what I eat in a day. I mean, it's very boring. It's kind of the same, obviously it's the same foods, we're limited at what foods we eat, but I vary up because I do find I get bored quickly. Like, I can't have the same meal. When I tried the Lion diet for a few days, because it was simply beef, salt, water, I was basically having the same meal all the time, and oh my god, I was sick and tired of it. On that third day, I was like retching because it was like the same again. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so that is, I just try and vary it in the sense of the different forms of having it. Like, sometimes I'll cook an omelette. Again, you know, the spaghetti, the pasta, the wrap, the shuffle. I just mix it up, and I think that's good to mix it up, because if you do have the same day in, day out, you will eventually get, if you're that type of person, you will eventually get bored. Some people don't. My mum's one that she has had the same breakfast for God knows how long. My cousin, who is carnivore, but she didn't know it, she eats the exact same thing for breakfast, lunch and dinner, but that works for her. She's happy with it. She doesn't get bored on it. She, you know, that's not a problem. Whereas me, I can't do that. I like the variation. I like the mix up. I like the bit of change, which is great. I mean, it's annoying that I have to then think of stuff, do you know what I mean? But because I've got the kiddies to do anyway, it's not a problem. So yeah, I play with my food a lot more than what kind of other people probably do. They probably just stick to like the BBBE, where they will probably have the same old. But I like to mix it up. And do you know what? If it works for you, do it as well. I think that's kind of it. I mean, I would do what I do in a day, but I don't really do much. It'll be the food shop, the school run, the gym, which I might try and film some more gym stuff. And that's basically it. I don't tend to... I live a very boring life. But if you do have any questions, or if you want me to kind of do any videos on specific topics, I'm not as like scientific or intellectual as like Jonathan and Jerome that we have on a live. I'm just like an average gal. I don't do the research like Jonathan does, mainly because I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what I'm reading. I'll be very honest. I don't understand what I'm reading. So that's why you'll see on some of the lives, they will answer the question and I will simply say, I don't have anything else to add, because I either didn't know the question in the first place, or I wouldn't have said anything else other than that. And to be honest, I would have said it in a dumber way, because I just don't know the terminology that they know. Which is helpful for some people, because if you're like me and you don't know that kind of lingo, I'll put it in layman's terms for you as best as I can. But yeah, enjoy my little rambling of what I eat in a day. I'm quite good at giving ideas, as you know, if people are stuck on what to eat. I'm quite good to be like, well, you can do this, you know, you can mix it up this way, or you can, I don't know, make something this way. I have experimented, you know, like the sweet side of it, with like making the carnivore cheesecakes and the carnivore cakes, and we use like a waffle maker to make it into like a waffle. The butter bites, I think if I have something too much, I go off it. Like, I haven't had butter bites in quite a while, because I think I was having them every day for a good couple of months, and I think I just had it too much. So I then have a couple of months break, and then I'll end up having it again. Same with like the cake. I used to make like the carnivore cake and then put like thick double cream or clotted cream or something inside it as like icing, and then I'd eat that. And again, I think I had that like every single day for a meal for like a week, and I was like, I can't. The thought of it now, I just can't do it. I honestly don't know how Jonathan has like the same stuff every day. Like, he's so like, not regimented, but I guess he's like creature of habit, isn't he? He has the same breakfast all the time. The same shake after. Well, I mean, he mixes up the flavours. But I like variation. I think that's it. I am just going to add on to this. I am still fundraising for my charity. I am skydiving in November. I will get Jonathan to put the link in the description as well. So if any of his wonderful followers would like to support me, you can do this anonymously. Do you know what I mean? £1, $1, €1, whatever you work in, is very much appreciated. It doesn't matter how big or small the donation is. It's for an amazing cause, and I think we are all affected by cancer in some way. I've lost both my granddads to cancer. I know Jonathan's lost both his granddads to cancer. And the hospice that I'm jumping for, they do amazing things, not just for the patients themselves, where they make them as comfortable as possible. They give them the fresh air. Like, all the rooms are big enough that they can put the bed outside. They've all got a balcony. And as we know, fresh air is the best. It's the best thing for you, especially when you're so poorly as well. And they do things for the family. So the family can stay, they get a bed there, they feed them, so the family don't have to worry about the cost of anything. It's a beautiful garden there. Obviously, I know a lot of his supporters are like America, all over the globe. So I know that you're not going to physically see the place that I'm on about. But they do fantastic things, and the money that I'm trying to raise will really help them a lot. And I'm jumping 15,000 feet in the air, which is like 3 miles down. So any donations would be fantastic. Just thought I'd add that on at the end. The link will be there. I will get Jonathan to add in my Instagram if any of you want to, ask any questions or, give me any kind of topics to do a rambling video for. Happy days, not a problem. I will do my best. But thanks for tuning in. I hope I didn't ramble too much. And look forward to the next one. Bye.